All right, shalom, shalom. Before I begin, I want to start out first by giving all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai Bahashem, Rakah Kodash. I want to give double honor to my teachers, the head elders and apostles of Great Millstone. I want to give a peace, blessings, salutations to the elect. You brothers that did their labor in this work, and to you few sisters that believe as well. I want to say shalom. And I want to get into a lesson, Lord's willing, and be edifying through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai as always. But what I want to touch on in this lesson is pretty much going into Salakia. What I'm going to go into in this lesson is pretty much the elite, the agenda of the elites of this world, right? Which is Esau, Edom, right? Esau, Edom, so-called white men, right? The so-called Illuminati, right? As you will know them, the so-called Illuminati, the elites, right? The elites of this world, right? The ones, again, that call themselves the Illuminati, the light bearers, the enlightened ones is what they call themselves, the ones that claim, the ones that they think they have the light, all right? They have an agenda that they want to accomplish ultimately in the planet Earth. They have an agenda, right? And what is their ultimate agenda? What is their ultimate goal? Well, like in that interview, right, with a man by the name of Aaron Russo, right? He did an interview, right, with the individual. He was interviewed by an individual named Alex Jones, and in an interview, all right, Aaron Russo, he stated how pretty much the elites. He stated how the elites of this world, how the elites, right? You know, the banking families, all right? The ones that control the planet Earth. You know, your Rothschilds, your Rockefellers, your Oppenheimers, DuPonts, whatnot. How ultimately their goal is to put a microchip in everybody. Their goal is to put a microchip in the inhabitants of the planet Earth. And ultimately, that's biblical prophecy. Right? That's prophecy. Right? As we're going to read. The elites of this world, the so-called Illuminati, right? The 1%, you know, whatever you want to call them, the banking families, all right? Which again, they're the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts. Just go look up who these individuals are, right? Just go look up who these individuals are, right? Again, your Rockefellers, your DuPonts, Rothschild. Matter of fact, it was Nick Rockefeller, all right, part of the Rockefeller family, that told Aaron Russo their agenda, that they want to put a micro C-hip, all right, in the people. That their goal is to put a micro C-hip, right, in the people. And ultimately, why do they want to do that? For total control. They want to have total control. All right? These devils, right? The so-called white man, the so-called white race, right? Particularly speaking on the elites, right? The top banking family, right? They want total control over the planet Earth. They want total control over the Lord's creation, right? They want total control over the Lord's creation. They want to exalt themselves above the Heavenly Father, man. And they want to play that role. They want to play that role of the Most High, right? They want to play that role of the Heavenly Father, man. And have total control of your everything. Have total control of what you buy and sell. Have total control of what you, how you walk. Want total control of what you think, your thoughts. These devils just want total control over you. Straight up, they want total control over you. They want to turn you into their. They want to turn you into their creation, so to speak. Right? They want to turn you into what they, you know, they want to turn you, pretty much they want to turn your ass into a robot, you know? But yes, this is all right. The elites of this world, again, they just want total control, man. And it's sad that these devils, they have control over the whole entire planet Earth, over the resources, over the trends, over the fashion, right? Everything that goes throughout the planet Earth. These devils control it, man. These devils have control over it. But that's still not enough to the damn devil. That's still not enough to the Edomites, to these greedy ass motherfuckers. They're greedy, man. They're greedy. Having control of the planet Earth is not enough for them, right? They want to actually, again, they actually want total control over human beings. Again, over the creation of the Lord, man. Again, this is one way. This is them trying to exalt themselves and oppose themselves above the Lord, man, or exalt themselves above Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shah, man. Exalt themselves, put themselves over the Creator, right? This is them thinking that they can that they could do better than the Lord, man. That they could words I'm looking for, man. Pretty much control life better than the Lord, man. Right? Again, ultimately, man, they just want total control, man. This is the book of 2 Thessalonians, the 2nd chapter, and the 3rd verse. It says, "Let no man deceive you by any means, for that day shall not come except there come a falling away first." And that falling away came with the Israelites, man. Right? We fell, in 70 AD, right? We fell. We was chased out of our homeland, right? Into the like the exteriors of Africa, right? The land of Ham, and from there, we were gathered up and eventually sold on cargo slave ships and brought over here. And brought over here as slaves, man, to the Americas, right? To North America, right? Again, we were chased out of our homeland, all right, and we were gathered up. We were gathered up in Africa, and again sold over here, all right, and we were brought over here in cargo slave ships. The transatlantic slave trade, which is also in the scriptures. That's also biblical prophecy that will happen to us. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 68. The Lord told us if we was going to be disobedient into His laws, statutes, and commandments, how we were going to go into Egypt again with ships. And when you go into that word Egypt, the scriptures speak about Egypt being the house of bondage. But also, too, when you look up the word Egypt in the Hebrew, it goes back to the word Mizraim, which means straits, right? Which means straits. I believe double straits. But what is another word for straight? Captivity, right? To be bounded, right? When you're in the straight jacket, you're bounded. You can't move, right? In other words, you're in captivity. So the Lord told us we was going to go in captivity. All right, again with ships. So that's how the Southern Kingdom, right? So-called black people, right? That's how we got over here to America, man. And then from there, we just completely lost our identity. We lost our heritage. Our heritage, our identity was beaten out of us. By who? The so-called white people, so-called white race. The so-called Caucasian from the Caucasus Mountain, man. But for real though, from the Edomites, all right, who are not white, but they're red. Actually, they're actually red, right? Their blood show forth through their skin. They're red people. They're not white people. They're red, right? And rightfully so, man. What does red symbolize? Danger. These are very dangerous people. That's why the Lord told us, man, never to trust thine enemy. The scriptures tell us, man, never to trust thine enemy. For like his iron rusteth, so is his wickedness, man. Though he go crouching, take good heed and beware of him. Right? Because it's the same devil. All right? It's the same devil. He hasn't changed one bit. Right? He hasn't changed one bit. He still has that same enmity, that same hatred, right? He still has that same hatred, right? That he has had for the children of Israel from the beginning. It never went anywhere. Right? Never went nowhere. That hatred, that jealousy that Cain had for his brother Abel, that hatred that Esau had for his brother Jacob, Yaquab, right? It never went nowhere. All he did was kept it dormant for a minute. He just, he hid under his hatred, or he hid his hatred. Salaki, he hid his hatred, right? He pretended like he was for you. He pretends like he's for you. He pretends like he has your best interest in his heart. But we see you, Esau. We know who the fuck you are. You're the fucking devil. And you're going to go into fucking captivity with your devil ass. The Lord going to come and destroy your fucking kingdom. And you and all your people are going to captivity under the so-called Negro, Latino, Native American. Right? And everything that you have done to us, we're going to do unto you doublefold. All the bloodshed, all the oppression, all the hell you put upon us, we're going to put that upon you doublefold. Except for all that weird shit, all that butt-breaking shit. Right? All that butt-breaking shit. And all that other weird castrating shit. We ain't gonna do no shit like that, you weird-ass fucks. You niggas are fucking weird, man. But you're the fucking devil. What can we expect? You're the fucking devil. Of course that's something the devil would do. A real deal evil, diabolical person who has no fucking soul. But it's all right. What you done to us is actually all right. Because we're gonna, because a righteous recompense will come. Straight up, we're gonna get our revenge. We're gonna get our revenge. Without a shadow of a doubt, we're gonna get our revenge. hey, the Lord gonna get his revenge. The Lord gonna, the Lord gonna deal with you accordingly. The Lord gonna deal with your ass accordingly, man. All right? 2 Thessalonians 2 again says, for that day should not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worshipped, so that he, as the Most High, sitteth in the temple of the Most High, show himself that he is the Most High. All right? So these devils, they oppose and exalt themselves above Yahweh B'Hashem Yahushua, above the Heavenly Father, man. All right? And that's exactly what they're trying to do with this new world order they're trying to accomplish.